What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Boring Money Show. It's your host, Mr. Boring Money, here to help you stay calm, print money, and have life on your terms. Now, we're going to be continuing our financial freedom journey. This is part 3. And what I want to talk about is really the importance of having the right mindset when it comes to managing your finances and when it comes to even preparing to make certain decisions and go against the grain a little bit. Now, what I want to do is clearly communicate that this is not financial advice by any means whatsoever. All I'm doing is sharing what's worked for me, some of the investment principles that I've learned over the years, and this is for pure entertainment purposes. If you're seeking financial advice, if you have issues with your own portfolio, seek a financial advisor, somebody who's licensed and who's qualified to be able to meet you at your unique needs. This is just for educational purposes and entertainment purposes only. Because there's two things that you're going to face: scrutiny and expectation, right? Now, scrutiny is something that you're going to start to face early on when you try to do something that's against the grain, that's different from what everybody else around you has done or different from what everybody else around you is doing. People are going to talk about you behind your back, right? And the people that you think are going to support you are going to tell you that maybe you shouldn't do it, or, oh, don't worry, life is short, enjoy it. And they're going to be saying these things because in their mind, they're trying to protect you, not realizing that they're actually being discouraging. But really, what starts to happen with people, and this is why you can't hold anything against anyone when they're doing things or saying things that feels like they're trying to pull you down or drag you down from really reaching the goals that you want. They're not intentionally trying to drag you down. Some people are malicious like that, but for the most part, people think they're trying to do you good. But really, what they're doing is trying to protect themselves. Because what starts to happen when you start thinking about and start doing things in a way that are going to set you up for success, and you start moving towards success, and you start focusing on yourself and building yourself up and learning and changing and just evolving as an individual, most people don't change at all, right? Like, I'll meet some people that I went to high school with, and it's like they just never changed at all, right? And their perception of you, because they haven't changed and they haven't seen you in a while, they still think you are your old self. But if you are working on developing yourself and you want to reach financial freedom, like, you have to change, you have to evolve, you have to be better, you have to get better, right? And so some people will try and still put you into a box of who they thought you were or who they still think you are, and you just don't fit in that box anymore, right? So in order to try and get you back in that box so they can protect the image they have of you, they're going to try and drag you back down and put you back in that box and try and speak things over you and say things over you like, oh, no, you don't have enough experience, or like, don't worry about doing that, or you're changing too much, or like, don't worry about that, or you're not going to ever do that, so why even bother trying? All these types of things that are extremely toxic for your mentality when you're trying to achieve anything worth achieving. All right, that's the scrutiny. When you're starting out, you have to be prepared to eat a lot of shit. And this is why it's one of our core values within my companies is that you have to be a shit eater, right? Because you have to be willing to do the work that's not sexy. You have to be willing to do the boring work. Hence why I'm Mr. Boring Money. I'm willing to do the boring work, right? And you have to do the things that are not sexy, the things that are boring, the things that are tedious, and the things that people just don't find very appealing, right? People don't find the fact that I haven't had a drink in forever, or I don't go out like that, or I'm not doing anything extravagant with my life, or I'm just super focused on building things and building businesses and building companies. They just don't find that very extravagant, right? So you have to be willing to do the work, eat shit, and not look good while you're doing it, right? And you have to be willing to face and endure a lot of scrutiny while you are building and while you're laying the foundation to set yourself up for success, while you're learning, while you're exploring, while you're developing yourself. And understand that when you're starting out and you're doing something new, you accept the fact that you're going to suck and that you're not good at it and that you're likely going to be terrible and flop. What's going on? I wanted to take this time to quickly interrupt this video or this podcast. If you found this helpful and you're interested in getting started investing on the blockchain, we have an incredible program called the Boring Money System inside of our Wealth Sanctum. What we do is we'll guarantee you'll produce cash flow within the first 30 days of setting up your first digital cash flowing real estate on the blockchain, or you don't pay. So if you're interested in that, there'll be a link somewhere in the show notes for you to be able to apply and schedule a free strategy session where we can look at your portfolio, look at your financials, and figure out what would be the best and most efficient way to deploy capital on the blockchain to guarantee cash flow. Hope to see you on the inside. Back to the show. But that's the exciting thing. Once you accept that and you understand that it's just a part of the game, it's a part of the game, right? It's an inevitable part of the game. When you accept and you start doing it, you're going to face a ton of scrutiny. People are going to talk about you. People are going to judge you. People that you think should be encouraging you, they're not going to be encouraging. So just let go of all expectations that anyone around you sees what you're trying to build or has the same vision as you or is trying to go the same direction as you. Just let go of all those expectations. The second you can let go of the expectations and assume that nobody cares and nobody's going to encourage you or whatever it is, when you face discouragement and people aren't encouraging you, you're like, oh, cool, no problem. If people are encouraging, it's like, oh, cool, whatever. You stay focused on the vision, right? And then what starts to happen, right? When you start closing the gap from where you are to where you want to be, and you start making progress towards your goals, what starts to happen is the tonality starts to shift from scrutiny to expectation. Now, for sudden, people are like, hey, I need help, help me figure this out. Oh, I see that you're doing this now. Why don't you teach me and tell me what you know? Meanwhile, when you started, nobody was trying to help you and they were criticizing you for the things that you're doing. And now that you're starting to make progress, now they expect you to help them and give handouts. All right. So those are the two things that you have to be prepared for anytime you start a new journey and you're working on personal development and you're working on achieving financial freedom. When people start to see you making progress towards those things, you're going to face a lot of scrutiny, right? And you're going to face a lot of expectations, right? And then as you start to make even more progress, now for sudden, when you are in a position where it makes sense for you to buy your dream house or build your dream house or buy your dream car and do all these things, go on vacation and start to spend a little bit of money, then the other side of scrutiny comes. It's like, oh, you need to be giving that money to charity. Or what are you doing to help other people? Like that's when some of these more scrutiny comes. But I'm sharing this with you so that for a fraction of a percent of you guys who are listening and are taking some of the things that you're learning from my journey and taking some of the things I'm sharing with you seriously and you're starting to actually implement. For those of you guys who start making progress, my goal is just to prepare you for what's going to come and prepare you for what's going to start to happen, right? You're going to get a lot of people who try to take advantage of you. I can't tell you how many times that I've been taken advantage of personally. I've been taken advantage of a lot, right? There's some people out there whose literally their business model is just do whatever the hell Iggy's doing. And they've made a lot of money just doing that, taking advantage of different innovations that I've made and things like that. And you're going to face that, right? But if you stay focused on where you want to be and the impact you want to make in the world and how you want to achieve financial freedom, start working towards learning, putting the reps under the bar, eating the necessary amount of shit that you need to eat to close the gap and get to where you want to be. And if you can prepare yourself mentally for what's going to happen with the scrutiny and the expectations that people are going to put on you at all the different levels as you start to make progress, you're not going to be blindsided by it like I was initially. Now I just know, as I start to do things and I start to make progress in my businesses and start to make progresses in my companies or the different projects that I'm working on, there are people out there waiting to take advantage of me. There are people out there waiting to ride my coattails and things like that. And it's just a part of the game, right? I don't get upset. I don't waste time or any mental bandwidth concerned about what other people are doing, because I want to focus on getting to where I want to be and achieving the success that I want to achieve and having the kind of impact that I want to have and being able to take care of my family and those that really mean the most to me in my world, right? So wanted to share that with you. Hope you find it helpful. Go ahead and comment your thoughts on it. And then if you would, like, subscribe, and share. And I'll catch you in the next one. If you found this video helpful, chances are you're going to find a ton of value in our Boring Money community, where I'm in there live, actively sharing articles, market updates, and just educating you on what's going on in the market real time. So if you don't want to wait for another one of these episodes or another video training to come out, and you want to have live updates on what's happening in the market, go ahead and join the Boring Money community, where you can have access to us and be able to ask any questions that you want, and potentially even get featured in an episode. Till next time, hope to see you on the inside.